everyone, and welcome yourselves back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the brand new Pinocchio film. It just dropped on Disney Plus today, as it's Disney Plus Day. And obviously this is the reimagined live action version of the 1950s um, animation, or cartoon, as you would say back in the day, for Pinocchio. And obviously bringing Tom Hanks into the role of Geppetto. Luke Evans features Keenan of Keel and Jordan Peele and Keel, whatever his name is, multiple other great actors. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out for yourself. Hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and let me know down below your thoughts on the new Pinocchio film. Spoilers ahead, but obviously it's technically the same plot as the original with just a few extra scenes. Enjoy. So Pinocchio 2022, as you'd call it, it's an enjoyable film. Um, I don't know if this scene that was, where he was in the water towards the end of the film, it sort of sums up how overkill the plot is in a sense. He says he's in a circus, he gets kicked out of school, he goes to Pleasureland, and then reunites with his dad. And, that sort of goes, is it realistic for all that to happen? Being imprisoned as well, um, getting eaten by a whale or a monster. And you're thinking, in the real world, an hour would fly by, but in this world, they managed to go to a show and do everything else I just said. So, we go all the way back to the story of, he obviously wants his son back, who's obviously died or passed away at some point, which is basically the same thing. I don't know why I said or. And then Pinocchio gets brought to life. Blue Fairy says you have to do X, Y, and Z to be a real boy, not to look like a real boy, but to be a real boy inside. And for me, this film lacked a lot of sense. Yeah, I know it's talking animals and talking puppets, but at the start of the film, before he gets kicked out of school, he just doesn't know what to say, doesn't know what to do. But as the film goes on, he he doesn't he shouldn't be able to develop a conscience because he's not real. And then he starts to make decisions for himself, which was sort of he was trying to fight back, but obviously then he was still manipulated. So it was I don't know. But I know there's scenes that are obviously taken directly from the original, but it was just like watching an idiot at times. I know and again, he's basically a newborn baby in a sense, but yet partway through the film, he's able to swim like the fastest swimmer in the world. He can walk normal, he could talk normal, obviously, which was altered by the Blue Fairy. I just, I loved the design of Pinocchio. I loved how well Tom Hanks played Geppetto. I loved the scenery and the characters. I had no issues with any of the characters. But one thing I would say is, and I don't know how long they featured in the original Pinocchio, was the two animals that approached Pinocchio. They literally, it's like there was a scene or a whole bunch of this movie that was missing. Uh, they manipulated Pinocchio, then they were attacked by Geppetto, Jiminy Cricket, sorry, and then they were outside the school and then recaptured Pinocchio. And they sent Pinocchio off, and then they never featured again in the film. It was a weird thing because to have them feature, but then to have them disappear for the entire film when they were sort of the main villains at start, it was really weird. I thought the donkey scene was really misunderstood as well because if you didn't understand what was going on, all the kids just randomly started turning to donkeys because they were drinking the butterbeer style drink, I'd call it. Um, Again, yeah, ripped out straight from the film, the original, but I don't know, it just didn't set right. There was just like scenes that were dragged on a bit. I mean, all the songs were pretty catchy, to be fair. When You Wish Upon a Star, I loved the new rendition of that. I thought that was fantastic. Uh, so, there's not much to complain about, except there's a few things where you go, a few skip overs, way too much plot happens. But again, you're taking that right directly from the original, so that's an original film plot issue. I think the voice actor was perfect for Pinocchio. I love how they kept the original design. Um, then the Blue Fairy should have, appeared again, but instead they just did the wish thing and brought Geppetto back from the dead. Um, yeah, I think it was all over the place in bits, a bit messy at times. Some things were skipped over. It felt like it was like a weeks had been passed, but in reality, it'd only been a day. Um, so yeah, good bits, bad bits. The acting, the story, the scenes, they were all really well done. The music was good. There was just a bit of pacing issues. There wasn't many issues with it. You know, when you put it all together, there was just a few things like why did they get cut from the start, the villains, and then never appear again? It was random because they went, we're going to take you to the carnival, and then you think I thought they would have stuck around at the carnival. Uh, Jiminy Cricket getting falling all over the place or falling down drain pipes or constantly being left behind was so annoying at times to watch. I think it was like three, four times. You're like, he's found Pinocchio. Boom, he's down a well. But obviously he figured out the donkey thing, and then obviously Pinocchio and his friends started turning into donkeys. So yeah, a lot to like. Couple of things to not like, but ultimately I think it did a very, very good job of replicating what the original did. It's one of my favorite Disney live actions, I think. When you think of Aladdin and Lion King and Mulan and Beauty and the Beast, I think it's done a very good job, and I think Tom Hanks is the most perfectly casted Geppetto. His relationship with Pinocchio is so affectionate and it's so well done. Um, Robert Zemeckis, the Back to the Future director, he did a fantastic job, and he knows how to bring these sorts of films to life. It gave me Polar Express vibes at times, the music and the scenes and the magic. And obviously, Tom Hanks was involved in both of them. So yeah, a very, very good overall watch. As I said, with a few issues, but I think you can look past them because it wasn't boring. They just were drawn out a bit. But yeah, a terrific film that I'm going to give a 9 out of 10 to. Um, as I said, um, a few things you could have scratched out and you could have got a perfect film, but ultimately those things do hold the film back. The magic's there, the Disney love is there, the casting was there, and everything else came together, and ultimately it turned out to be a terrific film. So it may have seemed like at the start I was going to give it a really low rating, but ultimately I had a terrific time with Pinocchio, and I hope you guys check it out. I hope you enjoyed the film yourself. I will be doing a versus video soon. I will be watching the original in comparison to it, so I have a better understanding of the differences. And obviously, the Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio is out this year, so I'm looking forward to seeing his rendition and how accurate he does it to the books, or how unique he does it away from everything that's already out there. So, as I said, go check it out for yourself. It is a good time. Hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and be sure to check out more videos coming this weekend. Until next time, bye.